Why do some people get rich in financial markets while others don't? Is it luck, timing, or something else entirely? For centuries, this question has fascinated investors, economists, and everyday people hoping to strike it big. The answer, more often than not, comes down to a single powerful factor. It often comes down to one thing: information. Not just having it, but having it before everyone else. In the world of finance, knowledge isn't just power, it's profit. The right piece of news at the right moment can change everything. Before smartphones and instant notifications, the race for news was just as fierce, maybe even fiercer. Traders and investors would go to extraordinary lengths to get information first, knowing that even a few minutes advantage could mean the difference between fortune and failure. Take the Rothschilds at Waterloo. Nathan Rothschild's network of couriers and pigeons got him news of Napoleon's defeat before anyone else in London. In an era without telegraphs or telephones, this was a remarkable feat of logistics and planning. While others panicked and sold British bonds, Rothschild bought them cheap, knowing victory was already secured. His actions weren't based on rumours or speculation, but on verified, exclusive information that no one else had. This wasn't luck, it was a system. Rothschild's success was built on a carefully constructed network designed to deliver news faster than anyone else. He understood that in finance, speed and accuracy of information are everything. Paul Reuter did something similar, using pigeons to bridge gaps in the Telegraph network, delivering stock prices hours ahead of rivals. His innovation laid the groundwork for the global news agencies we rely on today, all built on the idea that whoever knows first wins. These stories show that markets are driven by what people know, and when they know it. The timing of information can spark panic, trigger rallies, or quietly make someone a fortune while the rest of the world is still in the dark. The gap between reality and widespread knowledge is where fortunes are made. Or those who can bridge that gap, by being faster, smarter, or better connected, have always had the upper hand. The history of finance is a story of closing that gap, making information faster and more accessible. From pigeons to smartphones, the tools have changed, but the race for news and the power it brings remains as intense as ever. Then came the telegraph, a revolutionary invention that forever changed the way information moved across continents. For the first time in human history, messages could leap across vast distances in mere moments, no longer bound by the speed of horses or ships. The world suddenly felt smaller, more connected, as if invisible wires stitched together distant cities and nations. News, once delayed by days or even weeks, now travelled at the speed of light. Headlines could cross oceans in seconds, transforming the very nature of journalism and commerce. The telegraph became the nervous system of a rapidly modernising world, pulsing with urgent updates and critical information. The old advantage of fast ships and pigeons vanished almost overnight. No longer did traders or governments rely on the wind or wings to carry their secrets and news. The telegraph rendered these once crucial messengers obsolete, ushering in a new era of instant communication. The stock ticker, patented in 1867, brought real-time prices to brokers everywhere, turning markets into living, breathing entities. And for the first time, investors in distant cities could react to the same information at nearly the same moment, creating a sense of unity and urgency in financial markets. Now, a railroad's earnings in New York could move prices in San Francisco within moments. The ticker tape's steady chatter echoed through financial districts, linking cities and fortunes together in real time. The flow of information became a powerful force, shaping decisions and destinies across the country. The market became more efficient, prices adjusted quickly, and the edge of a single, well-informed trader shrank. No longer could a handful of insiders dominate the market with privileged knowledge. The playing field was levelling, and competition intensified as information became widely accessible. The telegraph and ticker tape democratized information, laying the groundwork for today's connected markets. These innovations not only transformed finance, but also set the stage for the global, instantaneous communication networks we now take for granted. In the 1980s, beepers gave brokers a critical edge. Instant alerts meant trades could be made before most people even heard the news. But the internet changed everything. Suddenly, real-time quotes, earnings, and news were available to anyone with a modem. The broker's beeper became obsolete overnight. Now, millions could react to news at the same time, and algorithms moved even faster. The internet made markets more transparent and competitive, bringing us closer to the dream of a perfectly informed market. If everyone has access to the same information at the same time, is it really possible for anyone to consistently beat the market? This question has fascinated investors, economists, and everyday people for decades. After all, if every bit of news, every earnings report, and every rumor is instantly available to all, what edge could anyone possibly have? The efficient market hypothesis, or EMH, is a powerful idea in finance. It claims that stock prices already reflect all publicly available knowledge, from breaking news to quarterly reports. According to EMH, the market is so efficient that it absorbs new information almost immediately, leaving little room for anyone to gain an advantage. The market acts like a super fast information processor. When news breaks, prices adjust in the blink of an eye. This rapid response means that by the time you hear about an opportunity, it's probably already gone. So finding undervalued stocks or hidden bargains after the fact is nearly impossible for most people. The odds are stacked against those who try to outsmart the system. That's why many financial experts recommend passive investing. Instead of trying to pick winners, they suggest buying the whole market through index funds, accepting the average return, and avoiding the stress and risk of trying to outguess everyone else. But remember, EMH is a theory, not an unbreakable law. It's a framework for understanding markets, but it doesn't explain everything. The theory assumes that everyone acts perfectly rationally, but in reality, emotions, biases, and unpredictable events can lead to mistakes and market surprises. So, while the market is efficient most of the time, it's not always perfect. If markets are so efficient, how did the 2008 financial crisis happen? For years, housing prices soared, ignoring obvious risks. The information was public: risky mortgages, complex financial products, but the market ignored the warning signs. Prices reflected collective optimism, not reality. When the bubble burst, the correction was brutal. This showed that markets can be blind to danger, driven by psychology and herd behavior. Even with all the information, markets can get things spectacularly wrong. In 2013, the Nobel Prize went to Eugene Fama, father of EMH, and Professor Robert Shiller, who studies how psychology drives markets. Fama's work shows that in the short term, markets are hard to beat. News is priced in almost instantly. But Shiller's research finds that over the long term, markets can be predictably irrational, with bubbles and crashes driven by emotion. The truth is, markets are both efficient and human. Understanding both sides is key to navigating finance. So what should we do? Markets are mostly efficient, but not perfectly so. The lesson: don't try to outsmart the market. Diversify, invest for the long term, and avoid chasing hot tips. But also recognize that markets are driven by stories and emotions. Watch for bubbles. Stay cautious when optimism runs wild. And remember that human psychology shapes prices as much as data. The wisest investors respect both the logic of efficiency and the power of emotion.